would be preferable to the demon of last season's handbag and Crocs sandals. So when I finally got to work, underdressed, out of breath, without the shoes, and over an hour late, I was in serious trouble. My boss was throwing a hissy fit due to lack of flowery scents in her office, and her personal assistant, Cedric, was in the throes of an overly dramatic caffeine withdrawal due to lack of latte. And it kept getting worse. 2 hours later, the panicky fashion director summoned the Louboutins. Those shoes had been troublemakers from the start. It had been an absolute trauma getting them in the first place. They'd been flown into South Africa late the previous night, and I'd been tasked with collecting them. Everyone was holding their collective breath for the grand arrival, so when I was forced to confess to their absence, well, you can only imagine. When lunch finally arrived, I jumped into my car and sped home. I had exactly 1 hour to get in and out before the photo shoot, more than enough time. I pulled into my driveway at breakneck speed, ran for the front door, slipped my house keys into the lock, and turned. But something made me stop. Something told me not to go inside. Something was very wrong. I looked around nervously. Everything seemed normal. Peter across the road was blasting his TV as usual. The ratbag chihuahua from number 45 was running up and down the garden perimeter, yapping at an unseen force. And Mildred, my neighbor, was outside watering her hydrangeas. So why was I hesitating? I took a deep breath and inched the door open. Nothing looked out of place. Everything was exactly the way I'd left it. Yet, everything felt wrong. I slunk down the hallway toward the kitchen, where I knew I'd find the shoes perched next to the coffee pot. But once inside, I was hit by a terribly eerie sensation. Someone was in the house. A shiver licked the length of my spine when my suspicions were confirmed. Creak! A noise was coming from my bedroom, directly above me. Shit. There was an intruder in the house. I launched myself at the cutlery drawer, grabbing the largest knife I could find while simultaneously dialing the police and still managing to hold onto the shoes for dear life. Police, help! There's an intruder in my house. 47 Mendelssohn Road, Oaklands. Quick! Now what? I'd never been in a situation like this before. What was the correct protocol? Should I hide? Evacuate the house? Attack the intruder? Scream loudly? Or perhaps a combination of the above? I thought for a second before deciding to get the fuck out of there. But just as I had one foot safely installed outside the front door, I heard another noise. This time it was different. It sounded like... My blood ran cold. But it couldn't be. Trev was at work. Trev had a very important day in court. He told me. His client's final hearing was today. Right now, in fact. I'd called him from my office about an hour ago, and he'd told me he was in court. He was in court! Damn it! I started climbing the stairs. More noises. 2 voices? But that was impossible, wasn't it? The noises grew louder and louder the farther up the stairs I went. I'm not really sure at what point I knew what the noises were or knew what I was going to see when I opened the door. But I just knew. It's one thing walking in on your boyfriend having sex with another woman, but it's another thing entirely walking in on him the second the other woman is coming. She was facing the door but was bouncing up and down so vigorously that her face was a blur. And then suddenly, her body stiffened. She threw her head back, opened her mouth, and let out a high-pitched wail. As if that wasn't self-explanatory enough, she decided to toss in a few words for good measure. Yes, Trevi, yes. Oh my God, oh my God. Oh, Trevi, harder. Ah, ah, ah. Pant, pant, pant. I'm coming. Long, high-pitched scream. Now, there were several things wrong with this.